The sun beat down on the royal courtyard of Zauzau, where a whirlwind of dust and laughter marked the games of the royal children. Among them, a young Amina held a wooden spear with fierce determination, chasing her friends. Her strides were long and purposeful, a stark contrast to their playful skips. "Amina, drop that spear," one of her friends called out, laughing as he dodged her. "It is for men, not for little girls." Amina came to a halt, planting her spear firmly in the sun-baked earth. She met his gaze, her eyes alight with a fire beyond her years. "Then I will not be little, and I will not be only a girl," she declared, her voice ringing with certainty. "One day, you will see my spear will be sharper than yours." From a distance, her mother watched with a quiet smile, a glint of pride in her own eyes. She knew her daughter was destined for greatness. "She has the fire of 1,000 warriors," the queen whispered to herself. "May the spirits guide her path." Years later, the shadow of King Bakway's death still hung over the kingdom. The council of elders, their faces etched with the weight of tradition, gathered beneath the wide-spreading branches of the great baobab tree. They spoke in hushed tones, the murmur of their doubt reaching Amina where she stood before them. "Zauzau needs a king who can command men," one elder stated, his voice a low rumble. "Not a woman who belongs in the inner chambers." Another nodded, his face grim. "Our enemies will laugh if we follow a queen to battle." Amina stepped forward, her ceremonial armor gleaming in the midday sun. Her eyes, burning with the same fire her mother had seen, swept across the faces of the men who questioned her. "Enemies do not laugh when my spear is at their throat," she said, her voice clear and strong. "I am Amina, daughter of Bakwa. If you doubt me, ride with me to battle and see whose arm is stronger." A profound silence fell over the council. The elders exchanged glances, some in fear, others in awe of her conviction. At last, one of them, the eldest and wisest, bowed his head in a gesture of surrender. "Then lead us, Amina," he said, his voice laced with respect. "May the gods be with you." The dry savanna stretched out for miles, the land trembling beneath the weight of two gathering armies. Amina sat tall on her horse, her spear a gleaming point against the vast horizon. Her generals watched her, their faces etched with anxiety as they faced the formidable Noop warriors. "The Noop warriors are many, my queen," one general said, his voice tight with tension. "Their shields are like a forest. Shall we retreat?" Amina turned to him, a fierce smile on her lips. "Retreat? No. Today the land will learn my name," she shouted, lifting her spear high into the air. "Forward, Zauzau, forward, sons of Bakwa." With a roar that shook the earth, she charged. Dust rose like a storm, obscuring the horizon. Her spear flashed in the sun as she struck down an enemy, and her warriors followed her into the fray, their own battle cries echoing her name across the plain. The land, indeed, would remember her. In the heart of Zauzau, the air was thick with the scent of clay and the sound of 1,000 workers shaping earth into massive walls. Amina walked among them, her cloak trailing in the dust, her gaze fixed on the rising fortifications. "My queen, why do we build so high, so wide?" one worker asked, wiping sweat from his brow. "The walls drink our strength." Amina stopped and looked at the man, her eyes full of a wisdom that looked beyond the present. "A city without walls is a calabash without cover. It spills its treasures to thieves," she explained. "These walls will guard Zauzau long after I am gone." She reached out and pressed her hand against the fresh clay, leaving her mark in the history she was building. Years passed, and the tales of Amina's victories grew into legend. She stood alone on a cliff overlooking the wide, conquered savanna, her spear resting by her side. The wind howled across the plain, a constant companion. She spoke softly, her words carried on the wind to the land she had shaped. "I have no husband but war. I have no child but victory," she said, her voice a low murmur. "But the land will remember me, and the walls will speak my name." That was the story of Queen Amina of Zaria. For more of these stories, kindly subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe icon. Thanks for watching.